Welcome everyone. This is Haftarah Beha'alotekha, which is the third Torah portion in Numbers, but we're studying the Haftarah, the prophets section related to this Torah portion. It's from Zechariah. There is a versification difference between Hebrew and English Bibles. In the Hebrew Bible, it starts at Zechariah 2:14. In most English Bibles, it'll show up as 2:10. There is no verse 14 in an English Bible. And I would love to remind everybody and recommend to anyone who wants to. I am going to start up a biblical Hebrew level A. It's a bit of an intensive course. It's an intensive course. It doesn't go slow. It doesn't slack. It is high speed, high, and you're going to see lots of results. It is starting July 7th. If anyone's interested in joining, go to the website hungryforhebrew.com under courses and you'll find it there. If anyone wants to mark up the screen or raise a hand, here's how you do it. With no further ado, let's dig right into it. These are going to be the last few verses according to the Hebrew of chapter 2 before getting into chapter 3. I'll begin. Roni or Roni v'simchi bat Zion ki hineni va v'shachanti v'tochech ne'um Adonai. This right here has a strong doubling dagesh in the nun, which means that this is a closed syllable that is unstressed. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a kamatz katan, Roni. And simchi is from sameach, simcha. It is an imperative form. Both of these are. A chirik yod and at the end of an imperative is referring to you, a woman. To fs. Well, to whom is the writer referring? What woman are we talking about? Bat Zion, daughter of Zion. Kihinani va, because behold, look at me coming. V'shachanti, this is a vekatal vav, and I will shachan. What is shachan?
To sit.
To dwell.
Yeah.
Like the Mishkan is the place of dwelling. It's the tabernacle. The Shekhinah, or Shekinah, the Shekhinah is the dwelling or presence of the Lord. Betochech, what's the suffix ech? What's the pronominal suffix ech?
It's your, but feminine.
Yours, but feminine. So there's that 2fs again. In your toch, or tevech would be the noun, which is the thing in the middle. So in your midst. Ne'um Adonai, a declaration of the Lord. Cool. Sing and rejoice, O daughter of Zion, because I will come and dwell in your midst, says the Lord. That's cool. Who would like to read the next verse?
I'll try.
All right, Annie, I heard you first, and then I think it was Elizabeth second. So Annie, you take this one. Elizabeth the second. That's
Okay.
funny, Elizabeth the second. Go ahead, Annie.
왜 נלוו גויים רבים אל אדוני ביום ההוא, והיו לי לעם ושכנתי בתוכך, וידעת כי אדוני צבאות שלח שלחני אלייך.
Very good. Elayich. Excellent. V'nilvu goyim rabim el Adonai bayom hahu. V'hayu li l'am v'shachanti v'tochech v'yada'at ki Adonai tzavaot shelachani elayich. Excellent. What is the root of this strange looking verb, vanilvu or vanilvu?
Lamed,
Vivi?
Vav, Yud,
Excellent. Not strange at all then. So what's the noon doing there?
Nun of the Nifar,
Ah, mifal. And the u at the end means
uh, it's
Okay.
3 CP suffix
they are the subject. Good. So they are the built-in subject. To whom does the they refer explicitly?
Goyim Abim,
Goyim rabim nilvu. So yes, the root is lamed vav yod, the same root as Levi or Levi. Does anyone remember the story why Levi is named Levi? Remember her mom or his mom has three children, three sons. No, it wasn't three, was it? It was two. The second son. Wasn't Levi the second born? Judah. No,
Judah,
no. It was what's his name? Simeon, then Judah, then Levi, or what was it? I can't remember. But anyway, she says, surely now that I've born, I think it was the third son. Now that I have borne him three sons, he will accompany me. He will hang out with me. Well,
Mm.
accompany is this root right here. So be accompanied or something like that. Goyim Rabim will be accompanied or will join in, join together El Adonai Bayom Hahu on that day. V'hayu la'am, and they shall be for me, for a people. Cool. V'shachanti v'tochech, and I will dwell in your midst. Wait, we're talking about them, goyim rabim, and now we're switching over to you, feminine singular. Yeah, referring back to Bat Zion, the daughter of Zion. V'yadat, and you shall know. Know what? He answers the question. Here's the content of what you shall know. Adonai Tzavaot Shelachani Elayich. That the Lord of armies or hosts has sent me to you. Questions? Elizabeth, would you like to read this next verse?
I shall try.
All right, go right ahead.
V'nachal Adonai et Yehuda Helko al ad admat hakodesh hakodesh uvechar od birushala.
That's,
Like
it's really hard to see, but
Jerusalem.
there's a little furtive chirik right there hiding. It should be la yim, like this.
Yeah.
Birushalayim. This is the only furtive chirik in the Bible in the name of Jerusalem. You read it before the mem.
Yeah.
Let's see. Excellent reading. V'nachal Adonai et Yehuda chelko על אדמת הקודש ובחר עוד בירושלים. A nachala is an inheritance. The verb nachal is to inherit. And he shall inherit, that is, the Lord shall, et Yehuda chalko. He'll inherit Judah as his portion. Al admat hakodesh, upon the land of holiness, the holiness. I know that most
But
translators will
Kadesh is
translate this.
holy.
Kodesh is holiness. Kadosh is technically the adjective holy. So this is an adjective. Kodesh is a noun, but most of your translators don't maintain that distinction. They'll treat this like an adjective.
And I would have thought the hay is the holy.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying, is that it's the holiness
The holiness.
or the holy thing or holy, some kind of a noun. So the land of the holiness, that refers to, yeah, the Holy Land, the land that God chose. Uvachar, and he chose. Od, still, again, Birushalayim. The od should be more like, well, I don't know. I guess it could be either still or again. Okay.
But going back to verse before, from what you were saying, this I'm taking the literal translation what you just said, but I just it stuns me that it's Yehuda here when Levi was set apart to him in the first place. How is it saying that Judah's set apart now as his inheritance? I thought that was Levi.
I
But
see what you're saying.
that's
Okay, so the Levites are the ones who have their portion. Remember, the Levites didn't get a portion of land. They instead, the Lord was their inheritance. And here we have the Lord saying that Judah or land of Judah is his inheritance.
yeah, that's with my head there.
Okay, cool. Okay, any other questions on this? All right. Oh, cute little verse. Who wants to read? Thomas, you have your hand up. Do you want to read? Turn your mic on.
Yes. Haz kol basar mipnei Adonai ki neor mimeon kodsho.
Excellent. Kamatz katan. Has kol basar mipnei Adonai ki neor mim'on kodsho. It's a strange looking verb. Has.
Yeah.
This is not the word has, as in chas v'shalom.
Ini.
This is a chet. That's a hey. They're two different verbs. The root of has is hey samich missing yod. Be silent, kol basar, all flesh, mipnei Adonai, before the Lord. Ki ne'or, that's a weird word. Mim'on, that's a weird word. Kodsho. What is kodsho?
His Holiness.
His holiness.
Mm-hmm. Kodesh is holiness. Kodsho is his holiness. Absolutely. Ma'on is some sort of a, yeah, it says here dwelling place. I thought it was from Ayin, oh, what is it? Is it Awan? Avon? No. Ana? I forget what the root of it is. Ma'on. Oh, it is. It's Ein Vav Yod. Ein Vav Yod. I think that's the root. Anyway, it's translated dwelling place, from the dwelling place. What about this word here, ne'or? How are we supposed to parse this thing out? Any idea what the root is? What binyan?
Is Wie heißt es noch? Yiktol? Nee, or participle? No, Yiktol is this. It's like Yiktol. Because
Okay.
the root is ayin vavresh, to raise up, and
Ein Vavresh.
yes, and this is same like to raise up or to wake up or to be blind. Had many different meanings.
Right. Right. So like is someone who is awake.
Yeah.
Hitorer is to be awoken. He'ir is to awaken somebody. So what's a noon doing in front of it?
It's a nifal, isn't it?
Nifal, yes.
Making it
Nif-
passive.
Mm.
Nifal, passive, absolutely. So instead of getting ni, how would it be? Let me think about this. Ni. Oh, wow, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Okay, so this is what we should have expected. Wait a second. Is that going to be it's not a participle. It's just a nifal. Okay, so this is what we should have expected. Do you see any problems with this, anyone?
Guttural.
Guttural's probably not going to take a schwa here. Anything else? There's a vowel combination here
Oh,
that got simplified down. So essentially the awa or aua is what turns into an O sound. And when it does,
Oh,
this ayin now begins the next syllable. So what are we going to do with this short vowel? Now that it's in an open syllable, it has to lengthen.
Yes.
So you're absolutely right.
or
Al, three, katal, he
Mhm.
was raised up. They say here he is raised up. And I guess if it were a participle, it would do the same thing. Maybe it's a participle. Masculine singular.
Mm.
Was raised up, is raised up, will be raised up. Mim'on kodsho, from the dwelling place of his holiness. All right, who would like to read next? All right, I'll read. Vayar'eni et Yehoshua hakohen hagadol. Omed lifnei malach Adonai v'hasatan omed al yemino lesitno. Wow, there's a lot going on in this one verse. Vayar'eni. This is a vayatol vowel.
Annie.
So the yod tells us the built-in subject. He what's the root?
Raw. All right.
Resh Aleph.
Right,
I.
ra'ah, to
Yod.
resh aleph
Resh
yod,
Aleph Yod. Resh Aleph He.
right, which means to see. And then the eni is pointing
Me.
to me.
Me.
And
Yes.
there's a patach here. He feel caused me to see. He showed me. Et Yehoshua. What does the name Yehoshua mean?
Salvation.
Salvation. He showed me Yehoshua HaKohen HaGadol. Who is Yehoshua? The priest, the big one. The priest. And what is he doing? Omed lifnei malach Adonai. He is standing before malach, angel or messenger of the Lord. V'hasatan. Who is Satan?
The accuser.
The accuser, the adversary. And the adversary, the accuser, was standing at Yamino. What is Yamin? Like Benjamin?
Right
Right.
hand.
Uh-huh. So Yamino is his right hand. Lesitno. So here we've got an infinitive construct. To accuse, to accuse him.
He's a prosecutor.
That's right. All right. Who wants to take the next verse?
Well,
All right. Go ahead, Elizabeth.
Vayomer Adonai El Hasatan
Oh,
Yig'ar.
go ahead. You're doing great.
Adonai Becha Hasatan Ve'yig'ar Adonai Becha Habocher Be'Yerushalayim Halo Ze Or. Oh, sorry, that's a dalet. Od Mutzal Me'esh.
Excellent. Vayomer Adonai El Hasatan Yig'ar Adonai B'cha Hasatan V'yig'ar Adonai B'cha Habocher B'Yerushalayim Halo Ze Ud Mutzal Me'esh. All right, so there's a couple of things going on here. And the Lord said to Hasatan, to the Satan, Yig'ar Adonai. Well, hang on a second. The Lord said, yeah, okay. Yig'ar Adonai B'cha Hasatan. The Lord possibly will rebuke at you, O Satan. I'm guessing this is not just a standard yiktol form. Does anybody know what it could be if it's not just a standard yiktol form? Here, hang on a second. This will help. Who's the subject of Vayomer?
Adonai.
Adonai.
Let's go back one.
No, Joshua.
Lifnei malach Adonai,
The angel of the Lord.
Satan omed al yemino lesitno. So we've got the angel of the Lord and we've got the Satan. Vayomer.
So that's the angel of the Lord.
If it's the angel of the Lord, then it means that Adonai here is part of his quote. Or it could be the angel who is saying that the Lord said.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The angel.
Okay.
Then.
All right. So Vayomer, I am looking at the cantillation marks here. I would, just based on the cantillation marks, I would want to put a little pause right there. But how do I say this? We know what the New Testament says about how it is the angel of the Lord who was rebuking Satan, saying, "The Lord rebuke you, O Satan." At least that's how it's conveyed in the New Testament. Here in the Hebrew, though, it looks like the Lord is the one who said. The Lord said unto Satan, Yig'ar Adonai b'cha hasatan. The Lord said that the Lord will rebuke you, Satan. You can see how that's kind of odd. And then it's repeated. V'yig'ar Adonai b'cha. So is God referring to himself in the third person, or is this the angel of the Lord who is speaking on behalf of God? We have options. Habocher b'Yerushalayim. Oh, sorry, that was my point. If it's the angel of the Lord who's passing on the message of what God has to say, then what is this besides a yiktol? It is a jussiv. What does jussiv mean?
I've never even heard that term.
Jussiv is kind of like a third person volition or volitive form. It's saying, let him do something rather than he will do something. And it's a form that's used, in a respectful situation where an inferior is speaking to a superior. And in many forms, in many verbs, the jussive looks exactly like the yiktol. It's only in the weak verbs where letters go missing that it looks different. So it's a very frustrating form. And if you ever happen to see the word na in front of it, it's definitely adjussive. It shows the desire of the speaker. So if the angel of the Lord is saying, let the Lord rebuke you, Satan, then that's adjussive. V'yig'al Adonai b'cha, and he will rebuke you. Who? Habochel b'Yerushalayim, the one choosing Jerusalem. Halo ze ud mutzal me'esh. What's the word halo? Hello. Not hello. It's an interrogative hey with a lo in front of it. Is it not? Question. Not this an ud, a brand, mutzal me'esh. What is the root of mutzal?
Natal.
Natsal. We can see the dagesh and mitzadi from the missing nun that assimilated. And the mu, or the mu'ah, tells us what binyan it is.
Mm.
Hufal.
It has to be. Hufal or hofal.
Participle.
It's a hufal participle.
Nee, sorry. Yes, Odor. Yeah, really.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
The hufal participle, third excuse me, not third. There is no person in participles, masculine singular. The ud has been caused to Matzal is like bring to safety or something like that. So it has been rescued, me'esh, from the fire.
All right, I'm going to confess my ignorance again, but so the ha, ha, hello,
Mm-hmm.
hello. So it says not underneath there, but would that be the no?
It's not the word, it's not the definite article ha. The definite article ha should be with a patach and a dagesh. If it can't take the dagesh, then it'll just turn into either ha or ha, but it will never take a reduced vowel. This here is an interrogative. It starts a yes or no question. So is it not? Like question, not, it's asking a negative question. So we would say something like, isn't this a brand that is rescued from the fire? So instead of the definite article ha, this is the interrogative particle ha. It's another hey that shows up at the front, but with a different vowel vocalization. All right. Any other questions, comments? All right. How about this verse? Who wants this one?
I can read to anyone.
Go ahead, Thomas.
Okay. Wie, wie Hoshua
Mhm.
היה לבוש בגדים צועים ועומד לפני המלאכה. המלאך.
Hamalach.
המלאך. Sorry. Yeah.
Vihoshua haya lavush begadim tzo'im ve'omed lifnei hamalach. All right, that's an interesting phenomenon. What happened here? There's no vowel attached to the yod. If there weren't a vav, what vowel should be under the yod?
Shava.
Shva. Good. So when we add a vav with a shva, we get two audible shvas at the beginning of a word, and Hebrew doesn't like that. It turns the first shva into a full vowel. Which one?
Mhm.
Which vowel will it turn it into? Well, usually if there's a vav, it's going to turn it into u, like
Mhm.
ugdolim.
This is day.
Yes.
Behusha.
Usually it turns into an u, but there's a yod there, and that has a greater influence. So instead of u, the vav becomes v. It turns it into a chirik. And we get
Yehush-
the
Yeshua.
Hoshua. Oh, wait, but Hirik Yod is
Hoshua.
already a vowel. So instead of having a consonantal Yod, it's simply V Hoshua. So the name Yehoshua is still here with a Vav in front, but the Vav turned into Vav Hirik Yod because of the Yod. V Hoshua. How would you say in Jerusalem?
בירושלים.
ביחו.
ב.
Here's Yerushalayim. We're going to add a Shva. Now what?
בירושלים.
Same thing.
That
Ah,
word was used a while
It
ago, wasn't
turns
it?
into Birushalayim.
yes. Wow.
Yeshua.
Birushalayim. Exactly. The same phenomenon. Vihoshua.
That word was a
Because
couple of
there is a
slides
yod,
back, I
yes?
think.
That was two questions. Thomas, what was your question?
No, you're the first one, the other person, please.
Adrienne, what was your question?
I said, wasn't that in the slide we read just a minute ago, the Jerusalem?
Exactly. Choosing Jerusalem. Birushalayim. Very good.
Oh, yes. Wow.
All right. And then Thomas, what was your question?
I have a E vowel before a yod. Yes?
Yeah, Chirik Yod.
In every case, yes. Or?
Right. When a word starts with a Yod that has a Shva,
Yes.
and you add something else that has a Shva, it turns into Chirik.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Yeah, okay. Very good.
All right.
You
let's
keep
see.
stopping over at the Hey Melech. And
Hamalach.
I thought you were getting ready to break that down. Hamelech.
Hamalach is, it does have a definite article at the front, ha. The root appears to be lamed, aleph, kaf, and the mem at the front is what turns it into a noun. Malach.
Which is angel.
It means messenger. If
Messenger.
it's a messenger of a king, we call it a messenger. If it's a messenger of God, we call it an angel, but it's a messenger. Now, this root la'ach is troublesome. What is the root la'ach? Well, in some strange way, apparently it's related to halach, to walk, to go. So a malach is the one that's sent going. It's the sent one, the messenger. And there is a very strange word I want to point out here. I think it's going to show up in the next slide, so I may just want to wait. Yeah, I'll wait. All right.
So does that apply to the Greek word of apostle
Yeah,
to
so
be the sent one?
I think apo means away. And then what is it? Stolos or something like that means sent. Or my Greek is terrible, but apostolos or the apostle is the one that is sent away. And
Yes.
the
Right.
Greek word apostolos or whatever it is in Hebrew is going to be a shaliach.
Ah.
So it's not one who's sending a message only, but one who is sent on a mission of some kind. A shaliach.
Yeah.
No, it's not connected to the Hamelech.
Hamalach, no. Malach would be a king's messenger, some sort of superior messenger, a superior who's sending someone to send a message, a courier, if you will. Someone is sending a message. But a shaliach is someone who goes and accomplishes a task for the superior. That'll be a little bit different. All right, who would like to read the next verse?
I can.
Okay, go ahead, Amy.
ויען ויאמר אל העומדים לפניו לאמור, השיאו הבגדים הצבועים עליו, ויאמר אליו, ראה, חברתי מעליך עוונך, וכלבש אותך מחלצות.
Excellent. ויען ויאמר אל העומדים לפניו לאמור, הסירו הבגדים הצועים מעליו. ויאמר אליו, ראה העברתי מעליך עוונך, והלבש אותך מחלצות. What is the root of vaya'an?
Ayin nun yud.
Ayin, nun, missing yod. Yod. Usually yud is used for modern Hebrew and yod for biblical Hebrew, but either one is perfectly fine. Same with kuf and kof. Kof is biblical and kuf is modern. Vaya'an, and he answered and he spoke to the standing ones, lifanav, to his face, before him, lemor, saying, hasiru habegadim. What's going on with this verb hasiru? Root, binyan, form, anything?
It's he feel.
Yeah, we've got a hey, vowel, chirik yod, it's he feel. What's the root?
Lehasir. Ooh. Sare.
We only have 2 letters to work with.
So it's Sare
Lapigaresh.
or Sur.
Double resh.
Sur.
Sur.
Exactly.
Yes.
Sur means to turn
Mm.
aside. When you put it into the he feel, it should be something like haswir. Haswir. Well, this this uwe right here is a complex vowel that simplifies down. So instead of haswir, it simply becomes hasir. Oh, wait. Now that this is the beginning of the syllable, what do we do with that flimsy vowel, that short vowel here? It lengthens. Hasir is an infinitive, is an imperative, or especially hasiru, because that's the plural form. Cause to turn aside. Take away. Take away what? Habgadim, the garments. Hatzoim. Okay, now this is the word I really wanted to talk about last slide, but I saved for this slide. What's the root?
So
Sadi.
Yud. Mem.
Aleph.
Vav. Ein. Aleph. No.
It's an aleph. So
Yes.
aleph is in the root. The vav.
Vav, yeah. So
Sadi, vav. Now don't put a furtive patach here. That's only for ayin, chet, and hey, not for aleph.
okay.
And so we've got a tzadi vav aleph. Now the kicker. What form is this word? Like what pattern does it belong to? What other words that have the same pattern can you think of? That's what I'm getting at. Okay, what do we have to work with? Well, we see an im is attached to it. That makes it
Plural masculine.
Plural.
masculine plural. We see the ha with a dagesh on the front. That means
It's a definite article.
absolutely, it's just a definite article. So if we were to simplify this down, what would the word be in the masculine singular form?
Participle. So
So that's the masculine singular form. So what form of a word is that? Okay, we'll see it. We'll see it more in the. I think we're going to see more of it on the next slide. We can come back to it. And I was happy to kind of. I think I figured out what's going on with it. What does it mean? Filthy, right?
But it can be a participle like an adjective.
Yeah.
It's pretty
I
ugly word
think.
in modern Hebrew.
It's a what word in
A
modern?
very ugly word in modern Hebrew.
Is it? Why so?
It means feces in modern Hebrew.
Ah, that's
Noah.
filth.
Noah. That's what it's with.
Yeah, there you go. And so with an O sound here, it makes me wonder what's going on with what pattern the word is. Is this supposed to be an pattern?
Oh,
There are nouns that take this form, but that's a noun. That's not really an adjective, is it? And so what patterns do we know that are adjectives?
Most patach. Patach.
Patach patach? Not at all.
Yes.
Not at all.
Hmm.
Patach patach would be
Yes.
like Baal or Sa'al and Ra'al. It's going to be a seglet that has a guttural
Hmm.
or Shachar. So these have two patachs. It's not patach
Hmm.
patach. Does anybody know the word bush or bosh?
Shame.
bush. Ashamed.
Ashamed. What is particularly unique about this verb?
Oh,
It's a very, very unique verb, and I might have stumbled on another verb like it. It is a state of being O themed vowel, O vowel, theme vowel being O, stative verb that is hollow. Huh? Okay, stative verbs with an O in it. Anybody know a stative verb with an O vowel in it? How about the word yachol?
oh,
Yachol, to be able. He was able. Instead of having kamatz patach, it has kamatz cholam. What? Why? Because it's a state of being verb. The state of being able. Yachol. Let's try the same thing with the root bet, vav, shin. What do you get? Bawosh. Bawosh. Well, that's a complex vowel that's going to
Biosh.
simplify down, isn't it? And that's where we get bosh from. Now, I wonder if this is a kal participle of a hollow root like bosh that is stative. How would you say the ones who are ashamed? We don't have to wonder. It's actually in the Bible. Boshim.
mm.
Exact same pattern as tzoim, the filthy. So maybe, possibility. Let's see, what else do we have? Re'eh. What is the word
Maya.
re'eh?
A.
Not really.
Imperative.
Yeah, it's an imperative of ra'ah. See, look here. What pattern, or excuse me, what binyan does he'evarti belong to?
Oh,
He feel. And why did the vowels change up?
Assimilation.
No, there's no missing letter here.
because of
Guttural.
Oh, you
ah,
mean vowel harmonization?
That's what I mean. I get those words
That's
mixed
it.
up all the time.
Yeah, Ayin doesn't like taking schvaz most of the time, so it takes a reduced vowel, and it gets a vowel harmonization from it. He'eh instead of he. He'evarti. Exactly. Me'alecha, avonecha, vehalbesh. What kind of a word is this?
Halabesh.
Is it a hifel?
You feel, that's right.
Oh, it's
Form.
imperative.
Imperative. Excellent. It's
Oh,
it's an imperative. We know it's an imperative not just from the context, but also because of the tsere instead of the chirik yod. If there's an apocryphation, we lost the yod. Halbesh, cause to wear. That is, clothe somebody. Otcha, you. Mahalatzot. Now, this is a strange root. I had to look this one up. Turns out there are two roots from Chet Lamed Tzadi, and they have very different meanings. And I was wondering why. Because there are two Chets. There's Chet 1, Cha, and there's Chet 2, Ha. So whether we're talking about Halatz or if we're talking about Halatz, it's two different roots with two different meanings. And where it gets garments from, I don't know. There's a place in Isaiah where this word shows up among a list of other garments. So it's clearly a garment of some kind, but the root doesn't seem to fit. Halatz means to either equip or draw out. So what is a mahalatz? A thing that is equipped or a thing that is drawn out? Doesn't really make sense to me.
I have a thought.
Okay.
It reminds me of the modern word for shirt,
Mm-hmm.
like hulza.
Hulza. It's probably, yeah, I'm certain that they're related, but what does it have to do with the root?
Yeah, I don't know that part.
It's either to equip or to draw out. So, I mean, if you're drawing your head out of your shirt hole, I don't know. I'm not
Well,
sure.
wouldn't it maybe have something to do with the fact that his defiled clothes were replaced and he was equipped? Like that's the equipping of the priesthood. What the garments were really important. That
Okay,
was part of their equipment as the priesthood.
I like it. In Isaiah, it's alongside of the king's mantle. It's listed in a list that includes the king's mantle. So it apparently is some kind of a garment. And yeah, maybe that equips him for his job. I don't know. All right, that's not the only garment article of clothing he's getting. Who wants to read the next verse?
I can read.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Va'omar yashimu tzanich tzanif yasimu. Oh, sorry. Tzanif tahor al rosho vayasimu hatzanif hatahor al rosho vayalbishuhu begadim umalach Adonai omed.
Excellent. Va'omar. What's the root?
Amar, also Aleph Memrish.
So that's the first root letter. This is the second, and that's the third, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
No. Oh,
I said, oh, yes. Oh,
What's
that's the
happening?
next thing is the Vav. That's the Yiktol.
Vayiktol, yeah. Because there's a
Yes.
kamatz under
Ooh.
here, that tells us it's a vayiktol, and if it's a vayiktol, then that means the aleph is
Oh, yeah, that's
Oh.
right. Yeah.
the yiktol prefix letter.
Hey.
Where's the aleph of the root? It's gone. All we have is a little O there. Only
Yes.
Hebrew has so-called pay aleph verbs, and only about 5 or 6 of them.
Ah.
In this
Yes.
yiktol
Six.
form,
Yes.
there's an O vowel. Vayomer,
Ochal.
vayochal, or see,
Vayochai, yes,
va'ochai,
yes, yes.
was it va'ove, va'ofe, va'ochez, no, va'ochaz. I mean, there aren't many of them, but it's the so-called pay aleph. The thing is, not all verbs that have an aleph at the front behave this way. Only a select few, and they belong to this category. Va'omar yasimu tzanif tahor al rosho. Vayasimu hatzanif hatahor al rosho vayalbishuhu. Begadim. Why is there not a vav right here?
My,
Shouldn't there be a vav in there?
from the suffix.
So the suffix here
Suffix
is
here, yes.
a pronominal suffix 3ms.
Yeah.
But if there's a yod here and an oo there, then who's the built-in subject? Yod at the front,
They.
oo at the end means they, exactly. But
And,
I thought that
yeah.
there's supposed to be a shuruk at the end. Why is there no shuruk in here?
And the object marker, the suffix with the object.
Yeah, the suffix is the object, absolutely.
Yeah. And then they
Okay.
write that word.
They shortened it to a kibbutz.
Yes.
And who is the
Kadim.
object? Is a direct object.
Yes, correct. My question still remains, why is there no shuruk at the end of this yiktol verb before the pronominal suffix?
The stress is at the end, or it's the reason is the stress, I think.
Okay. When was Zechariah?
Because
written?
the syllable connection from this word.
Fair enough. Does anyone
Yeah.
remember when Zechariah was written?
Oh.
Was he
Zechariah
pre-exilic
was-
or post-exilic?
Zechariah was post-exilic, wasn't he?
He was post-exilic?
No.
If
Alright.
he's
Well,
Joshua,
yeah, he's in the book of.
Yehoshua, and he was post-exilic?
he's the high. Wasn't he
post-
the one that when they
no.
came back from Babylon, that when they were rebuilding?
Yehoshua, the high priest. You're absolutely right. He's post-exilic. Okay, so my argument is shot. What I was going to say is that vav in the middle of a word didn't represent a mater lectionis letter until after the exile, but it is after the exile. So now what? I don't have a good answer. I guess from context, we're supposed to understand that they, whoever they are, clothed him with garments, and not just a single person did. And if it is they, then therefore there must be an oo sound here. But if there's no vav, then the Masoretic scribe wanted to insert a kibbutz here so that we know that it's plural. They clothed begadim. So the Masoretic scribes understood this to be a plural subject built into this verb, so they supplied the kibbutz. And I guess that's not fair to say it that way. The tradition that they received, which is much older than they, put an oo sound there, so they put an oo sound in the Masoretic text. They clothed him begadim, with clothes, umalach Adonai omed. Angel of the Lord is standing by, supervising, watching. What a cute little verse. Who wants to read this itty bitty thing?
Was it Vayad?
Vayad.
Vayad
Malach.
Malak Adonai Be Yeshua,
Be Hoshua.
Be Yeshua, and the Leamor.
More. Very good. The aleph here has no vowel, because at the end of the syllable it has quiesced, lengthening the previous vowel. Le more, to say. Wow, that's a monster verse right there. Who wants to read next? Eileen, did you want to read this?
Sure, I'll give it a try.
Okay.
Okay, let me bring it just a tad bit closer because I can't see. Okay, there we go. Ha, Ha'amer, Adonai, Sevaot, Im, Devari, he, he, hit, no, te, te, tele,
Mm-hmm.
tele,
Yep.
ve'emim, oops, just hold on.
The im, et,
Et Meshamret
mishmarti.
Mareti
Mm-hmm. Mishmarti.
Mishmarti Tishmar
Mm-hmm. Tishmor.
Tishmar. Sorry. Begam
Vagam.
et no Ata
Mm-hmm.
Bede no Tedin
Mm-hmm. Tadin.
Tedin et Babaiti
Beiti. Mm-hmm.
Beiti Begam Tishmor et Hetzar
Chatzerai. Chatzerai.
Hatzarai Venatani Lech Melachim
Mm-hmm. Mahlachim.
Malachim Bin Hatz Hatzmedin
Ha'omdim. It's an ein.
oh Hamodim Ha
Ha'el.
Hael
Mm-hmm. Ha'el.
Hael
That's it. Ko amar Adonai Tzevaot. Im bidrachai telech. ואם את משמרתי תשמור, וגם אתה תדין את ביתי, וגם תשמור את חצרי, ונתתי לך מהלכים בין העומדים האלה. כה אמר אדוני, thus says the Lord, צבאות from צבא, host, army, Lord of hosts or armies, if in my ways, derech, telech, you will halach, walk, ve'im et mishmarti tishmor, and if my, T, doesn't T at the end of a word mean it's a katal verb?
yes
Yeah, except for when it doesn't. What if it's a feminine tav with a chirik yod pronominal suffix? My mishmeret. You have to watch out for that. Just because there's a T at the end doesn't mean that it's I did it, like it does over here.
right
The et here is a good indicator that we are pointing to a noun. Et mishmarti tishmor. You will or shall keep. I would really put the word shall here, because if God is telling Yehoshua to do something, and that's language of the law, right? It's like
Yes.
God saying it. V'gam ata tadin, and you shall judge et beiti, my house. V'gam tishmor et chatzerai. What is a chatzer?
Court.
Yeah, it's like a courtyard. In modern Hebrew, it becomes your, courtyard where your lawn is. But Hatzerai must be referring to the courts of the temple or the temple complex. You shall keep my courtyards, meaning groundskeeper or guarding or keeping the people who are in those courts. Maybe that makes more sense. Vinatati, and I will give lecha to you mahlachim. So we can see the root is halach. The pattern, though, is a maktal, a mahlach, mahlach. So this turns the verb to walk into a noun, a place for walking. Ben ha'omdim ha'ele, between the standing ones, these ones. What standing ones? Prominent people? Angels? I don't know. But having a place to walk among those is a good thing.
I have a question.
Okay, question?
You pronounce it machlechim. Das he is like consonantal he.
Yes, anytime there's a vowel attached to a hey, it is consonantal.
Yes. Okay.
And vowel hey can only appear at the end of a word.
Mm.
Anywhere else, it's necessarily a consonant. Okay, who would like to read next? Ooh, it's a
I
messianic.
would like to go again.
Okay, go ahead. Elizabeth, did you?
Shema
Okay, go ahead.
na.
Yep. Sorry.
Is that okay?
It is. I interrupted you. Please go ahead.
Shema na Yehoshua HaKohen HaGadol Ata Ve'Re'echa Hayoshvim Lefanecha Ki Anoshe Mufet Hema Ki Hineni Mevi Et Ha'avde Samat.
Avdi Sem. And you can see what the translator did here. What is a tzemach? Well, it's a tree branch, right? Why is it all capitalized?
Because he's understanding that it's a messianic prophecy. It's referring to Yeshua.
Right. Shema na Yehoshua, and it's more than just a coincidence, I suppose, that Yehoshua, the high priest, is named Yehoshua, the Hebrew form of the Aramaic name Yeshua.
Yeshua, yeah.
Yeshua. Shema na Yehoshua. Wait, hang on. Yeshua was from the tribe of Judah. He wasn't a Levite. So how can he be a high priest?
Oh, I never noticed that.
Well, neither was the king of Salem was both a king and a high priest.
Oh, Salem.
And I'm trying Melchizedek.
Yeah, there you go. There's the answer. Melchi. Now I have to remember how to spell it in English. Melchi.
Dek.
Zech. Is it like that?
something like
Melchizedek.
that.
Yeah. He was the king and high priest. He was a priest of God and king of Salem. And book of Hebrews goes into the question of, wait a minute, how can Yeshua be anything of a high priest if he's from Judah? Easy. He's kind of like Melchizedek. He is the high priest of a different tabernacle, not the one on earth. In fact, Hebrews says it explicitly. Judah was never promised any kind of a high priesthood, and Yeshua could not enter into the holy place in the earthly tabernacle because he's from Judah. But he is the high priest of the heavenly tabernacle, which is superior to the earthly tabernacle, and thereby the book of Hebrews justifies that Yeshua is high priest just according to a different priestly order. After all, there are plenty of prophecies in or promises and prophecies in throughout the Bible about how Levi, or excuse me, the Aaronic priesthood and Levi will continue to serve in the priestly in the heaven, excuse me, in the earthly tabernacle. So it's two different tabernacles. That's the solution that Hebrews brings.
Well,
And
I got a lot of questions, but that would chase all sorts of rabbits. In
Mhm.
this verse here, how come the key is translated as indeed first and then for the second time, but it's pronounced the same way?
Oh, it's exactly the same word. It's precisely the same word in
So how do they
they're
translate it
both
differently?
they're both that's the translator's job to think for us so we don't have to. But no, everyone who's in this room is trying to understand Hebrew so we don't have to rely on the translation. So the question becomes, why did this translator do it? Both of these words, key, mean because. They give the reason why something is happening. Why are you and your fellows sitting, the fellows sitting in front of you? Because they are men of, the root has to do with shining forth or something like that. Yafeh, Yafa. They are exalted or wondered or bright or something men. Who would sit in front of the high priest except men of repute? So the Hebrew is saying because they are exceptional men. But in English, that doesn't sound like an explanation. So the translator says something like, seeing that they are wondered men, or indeed they are wondered men. Yeah, the translator did the thinking for us. But over here, he translates it as the reason for why something happens. He, hinanime,
Because so it would be because they are exceptional men and because I'm going to bring them forth.
that's closer to the Hebrew way of thinking of it, yes.
Okay.
And Fatema ki hine mevi. What binyan is mevi?
Mm.
The participle.
It is a participle.
He feel.
He feel participle.
Yes.
Yep, from
Okay.
the root
Ba.
ah
Ba.
or bo bet vav aleph to come
Vav Aleph. Yes.
etavdi temach. So I will cause to arrive or cause to come my servant Temach. My servant apparently is named the branch. Cool. I like it. All right. Let's do one more verse. I'm going to have to go after this one. Who wants to read this final verse?
I can do it when you want. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. כי הנה האבן אשר נתתי לפני יהושע על אבן אחת שבעה, yes, שבעה אינה עיניים, עיניים,
Mhm.
אוקיי? הני מפתח פיתוחך נאום אדוני צבאות ומשתי את עוון הארץ ההיא ביום אחד.
Cool. כי הנה האבן אשר נתתי לפני יהושע, על אבן אחת 7 עיניים. 7 eyes on 1 stone. Huh. Sounds a little bit like Revelation. הנני מפתח פיתוחה, נאום אדוני צבאות, ומשתי את עוון הארץ ההיא ביום אחד. Mush. What is the root of mush based on this form here? The T at the end says, I am the subject. The U at the front is vekatal. I will. All we have is a mem and a sheen. What's the root?
Mem Shin Hey.
Let me think. If it were a missing yod, think about like the word baniti. If there were a hey or a yod right here, there would be a yod in the first common singular form.
It's
Bani.
not a missing noon.
It's not a missing noon because then there would be a dagesh. There would be a dagesh
Yeah.
somewhere.
Moosh.
Moosh. Very good. Moosh. So the hollow roots are the ones that have this pattern right here. How would you say I returned? I came back.
Shavti.
Shavti. How would you say I arrived? I came.
Bati.
Bati. How would you say I arose? I got up.
Ham.
Amti. They're all the same pattern. Mashti is from the root mush. And I will take away et avon haaretz, the iniquity of the land, hahi, of that land, b'yom echad, in one day. Hallelujah.
Amen.
That's awesome. I love it. All right, guys, I'm going to have to cut it short a little bit. If anyone wants to support Hungry for Hebrew, here's how you can do it. If you know of anyone who might be interested in joining the July 7th class, please send them the link, hungryforhebrew.com. Otherwise, I will see you all next week for the next Haftarah. Until then,
I got a whole
Shalom.
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 Shalom. Litrot.